Hey community, how are you? Janine Macklin here, transformational speaker, wealth guide, and catalyst. I thought I'd hop on here today as I move back into alignment with my word. And I believe I had talked to you about Wisdom Wednesdays was something that I wanted to share with you. And I think I actually started that while I was in Mexico walking in the water and was giving you some of the messages from the water that I was hearing. So I was thinking about you today, though. I really was early today and throughout the day. What would be the wisdom for today, particularly as I look out on the world and how things are rapidly changing and shifting. There's so much that's going on. I put something on my Facebook page because JayZ made joined a partnership with the NFL because they had such a hard time last year finding acts for the the Super Bowl. And I thought, oh my gosh, from where he was to where he is now. Then all the president stuff and Jeff Epstein, you really need to let me see that man actually was killed, because otherwise I don't believe it. There were too many people in his black book. So with all this going on, you still have your life to live. How do you maintain your balance? How do you maintain your focus? How do you maintain your clarity? And ultimately, how do you maintain your sanity? I'm sure for some people. So that was what I thought I'd talk about just a little bit today. What are the practices that you have to maintain your sanity? Many of us have grown up with a degree of racism because that's just America, period. It's not like there's never been racism in our time, our parents' time, the generation before, and the generation before. But it seems to be blatant these days, and what we're seeing in the news that seems to bombard your awareness and your sensitivities and the senses in your body is shootings and murders and abuse and violence. So how do you keep yourself sane? And what I would offer is you want to cultivate a practice and allow that practice to be what actually governs you, guides you, supports you, and anchors you as you go through your day. Now, your first thought will be, okay, well, I pray or I read the Bible. I'm not sure if that's what I'm talking about. Unless when you pray and you read the Bible, it's something that anchors you so deep in your source, however you define that it carries you all day long. I'm wanting you to anchor yourself in something that's going to carry you all day long. That will almost put a buffer, so to speak, around you and what the world may be trying to throw your way or tell you need to be doing, or you need to be worried about, or you need to be concerned about. What can you anchor yourself in? And if you've been around me any time, you know what I always say, because it cuts through all the BS, and that is, there's one power that's breathing all of our breaths. I don't care what religion you are. There's only one power doing that. And there's one power that's beating our hearts. So what would it take for you to become more anchored in that power and that presence? What will it take for you to allow that to become part of what you do every day? Like maybe you take a mindful walk at lunchtime if you're someone who works. You don't sit in your office like you used to do. I used to do it when I worked. I worked through my lunch. Finally, I learned to go take a walk, go look at nature, go do some deep breathing, go shake off the day from work or shake off the news or whatever, whoever had gotten on my nerves. The nature just amazes me. It is so splendid. It's so magnificent. And it tells us the story of everything we need to know. It's pushing up from the inside, outside, and manifesting in all these beautiful arrays of colors and everything. And that's the same thing that happens for us and within us. So that's why I say that maybe one of the things you want to cultivate is getting out of your office, not necessarily going somewhere and reading a book, but breathing and being present. So that's one thing. The next thing is, how much are you present in your day? Really, how present are you in each moment? Because so often we're planning what's going to happen next. We're planning what we're going to be doing for dinner. We're going to planning what's in this. We're constantly in the future that doesn't exist. There's only this moment right here, right now. That's all there is. What takes us to tomorrow and Friday and Saturday is something called ego. Ego wants to tell us that we can go over there and think about this and control this and do this because people need to know our opinions. We need to tell people what to do because they're not smart enough to figure it out on their own. But we know that's not true. How have you cultivated the power to be present in each moment? Because what I found in those moments when I'm in fear, I'm not present. I'm in the fear. And the fear is not even real. It's this whole scenario that may be running through my mind about, oh, well, maybe this is going to happen. And what if this happens? And what if that happens? Well, maybe this is going to happen. So I have gotten to the point where I will shut it down when I hear it and say to myself, okay, either be quiet or stop talking, or I go outside and walk in the grass. And the moment my feet hit the earth, Mother Earth, that's out there in the universe, it seems to slow down the conversation. So that's something you want to cultivate. How well have you cultivated the power to be present in each moment of your life? I'm sending you out to nature. It's probably one of the few things that people ever think about as far as bringing you back to presence. The other thing that does it is music. I'm not talking about rap music, although it may for you. I'm just talking about what gets you feeling your energy. Because usually if you're working all day, if you're in a building and you're working, you may not have that ability to do that. But if you can hear music on your lunch break, walk around, that's going to shift your energy for the next part of the day you have to go through. For us as entrepreneurs, since we work all different times, I may work at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I try to be on a schedule because my son has me on his schedule somewhat. So I'm up at 6 in the morning, but I may work throughout the day. But I have a point that I know you've done enough. Go outside, go run some errands, go breathe some fresh air, or turn the music up loud and start dancing. I limit the news to what I catch when I'm on Yahoo on the computer. I don't look at the news on TV. Why? Tell me why. Give me one good reason. Does it uplift you? Does it inspire you? Does it empower you? Does it make you excited? Or is it draining your energy? And the next time you're looking at TV, be present with what you're looking at, what you're feeling, how your body responds to it, how it makes you feel when you finish, and decide consciously if that's what you want to give your attention to and your energy to. But it's imperative that you cultivate practices that are going to allow you to stay anchored as you move through your day. So you're not, road rage isn't your friend. You know, you're not upset while you're on the road or on the subways or whatever. You're also not in fear because of what you're being told and what you're hearing on the news on a regular basis, that you're so anxious in your living that you can't even enjoy your life. So the practice that I do is to meditate. I meditate in the morning. I exercise pretty much most days. I will get up early, 6 o'clock in the morning, and do the Rose Bowl because I want to be out in nature. I want to connect to something bigger than myself. I'm reading and have been reading most of this year the book by Dr. Wayne Dyer, Change Your Thoughts to Change Your Life. I read a paragraph or two each day, and then I marinate on what I heard. I marinate on that so that if there's a message that I may hear from spirit or, you know, from my meditation during the day that connects to that, there may be a song that I hear and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I heard that when I read that when I was reading. I take it with me during the day. And there may be one thing. The most recent thing I remember reading was that the tile does nothing, but it does everything. And it's talking about how we push ourselves and how we force people and we want people to do what we want them to do, the way we want them to do it, how we want them to do it, when we want them to do it. But they're not here to do for us. They're really ultimately here, even though many people may have forgotten it, to live their dreams, to express that powerful energy and divine presence that wants to express through you, either as a parent or as an author of a book or as a composer. But that's what we're here for. So that simple statement, the tile does nothing, but everything gets done, just made it simple. So that keeps me anchored when I'm wanting something to happen or be different or look a different way, to just relax, to release and trust again what's breathing my breath and what's beating my heart. So hopefully that gives you some possibilities and some considerations for yourself around how you're going to cultivate a practice that keeps you sane, that you do consistently. I probably have been meditating now for 30 years. I meditate in the bed, I meditate on the floor, I meditate on the plane, whenever I need to really get present. And that's how I know how present I either am or am not, depending on how long it takes me to get to that stillness. Now, I know many of you will say, it's hard. Every time I try to meditate, I can't get my mind to stop. Your goal is not to get your mind to stop. Your mind's going to do what it does because we've been allowing it to do what it does for so many years. It's not going to pay attention to us just because we sit down and be quiet. In the beginning, I just want you to set the time, make the commitment, show up, keep your mouth closed, your phone off, and just sit. 15 minutes. Just watch yourself. Watch what you think about. Watch how many times you want to get up. Watch how it doesn't feel good. Watch what you say to yourself about that process. And you realize it's not your body. It's your ego that keeps talking because it doesn't want you to be quiet. So you start there. Just set the time that every day I'm going to get up 15 minutes early and just be quiet. That's it. And breathe. Be quiet and breathe. And just watch your mind. It'll take you through every list of everything you have to do, everything you forgot, who you need to call. It's funny to watch the mind. And then when you get up, you go. When you come home in the evening, sit down again. And breathe. 15 minutes. You could go in the bathroom and close the door 15 minutes. And then identify every single thing you can have gratitude, appreciation, and love for. 15 minutes, that's it. So that's the way I do mine. That's a simple practice you can move into now. If you're reading the Bible, you're reading the Quran, you're reading the Tao, you're reading Quran, you're reading Rumi, whatever you're reading, take one sentence from it and keep it with you all day. Because these principles are bigger than what's happening in the world, and they'll sustain you. These principles are million years old teachings that are anchored in the wisdom of the ancestors, of those who created it. So those principles aren't going to change. What I'm saying to you isn't going to change. What happens in meditation isn't going to change. They are what is the foundation of the world. So if you can begin to cultivate that and those practices, they're bigger than all this stuff going on down here. And they will help you have greater peace, more faith, less reaction. We want to have more response than we have reaction to everything. And when we have more response than reaction, then we can have greater peace. Then we can even find some relief for ourselves. Okay? So hopefully that all made sense because I did not write it down. I kind of get a lot of information. I just share it with you. Let me know below. Do it. Let me know how it works for you, which one you cultivate or what you have already cultivated. And I'm talking about something for you. We all grew up with teachings from our families. I grew up in the Baptist church. I left the Baptist church later on and moved into more like spirituality and New Thought because I wanted to learn more. I wanted to study more. Those initial teachings they gave us, they may be enough, but it may require now that we dive deeper, that you ask deeper questions to get more, what do I want to say? I want you to get answers that really give you a sense of knowing that God's with you, that God's got your back, that you're not in this alone, that there's really nothing to fear. And we can't get to that place, that peace, that understanding unless one, we're present, and two, not only are we present, but that we're awake and aware in those moments and we're wanting to hear it, we're wanting to receive it. Hi, Eric, you're coming right as I'm headed out of here. So those are just some practices that I've been doing that you may find for yourself that you can cultivate for your sanity. And if you have some that you do already, then list them below so others may learn from you as well. If you're coming in after the call, please put #replay and let me know what practices you've cultivated. But there's several as far as walking outside. There's more as far as meditation, what you're doing with your prayer, with dance. All of that shifts your energy. And you will not really understand the value of shifting your energy until you do it. Think about it. You sit at work all day long. You're sitting in the chair, you're doing work, you're moving here, you're on your computer, you're on your phone. I do the same thing as an entrepreneur. I'm at my desk, I've got a computer over here, computer over there, 2 phones over there, and I'm moving and moving. And you just sit there, and you sit, and you sit, and you sit. You go to lunch, you come sit some more. Get up and move that energy. This body is amazing, and it's teeming with energy. Get up, go walk, go run, go smile, go hug a tree, and let the energy move so then you have some new energy for the next round. Okay? Okay. Take good care. I'm gonna do my best to be here for Wisdom Wednesdays. Bye for now.